Hello, good morning. My name is Mohammad Asim. Welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the process of setting up Postgres database, right? And we are going to use Ubuntu operating system, and we are going to use AWS cloud hosting. Okay, we will be setting one EC2 instance. On that we will mount and we will install a Postgres SQL database, and later on we will configure as a restrict to enhance the security. We will enable the Postgres access for the limited IP addresses, which I will be showing you, right, to make it secure. And we will create our custom Postgres database user, and we will add our custom password for this. So we are adding security into this so that it should not be accessible, right? It can accessible publicly our Postgres database. So we will enhance the security in these steps. So let's go and check it out everything. So we are here. This is the official page where we are going to use for the deployment of Postgres database, right? Here there is multiple option. In order to proceed, we have the prerequisite that we should have AWS account because we are using AWS cloud services. Okay. So quickly we will launch one EC2 instance. Okay. We will name it as Postgres, or else we will name it the database server, right? And we will use Ubuntu as operating system for our EC2 instance, right? Okay, fine. We are going with Ubuntu. The architecture is 64-bit x86, and operating system Ubuntu server is 24.4, which is the latest version. And I will select T2 micro, which is the more than enough for us. Okay, we will create a one key pair, right, which we are going to access this SSH server, right? So I will give it a database key. I'll click over here the create. So you'll be finding this key in the download folders, okay, which will be to download on your local machine. Then if you go in here, we will give only we'll keep it in network as a default. In our real-time environment, you have to select your customize your organization VPC and the subnet defined by your organization. Okay, I will keep auto assign public IP. I'll for currently I'll go with allow SSH only. I'll keep 8 GB, which is more than enough, but you can increase based on your requirement. Click on the launch instance, so it will take few seconds so that our EC2 instance will be up and running. Okay, we will click on this, right? So it will take to my EC2 instance, which is getting configured, right? It will take few seconds. Just wait for that. We will check on this the newly created EC2 instance, right? We receive the public IP, which will be copying up, but currently the status is initializing, right? Before that, let's create one SSH access from using mobile extreme application. Okay, and give the IP over here. Then you have to specify I'm using Ubuntu, so the user is Ubuntu over here. Okay, the key is in the download folder. Click on this icon. You will be to the path. Then I'll go with the download, right? In the download I have downloaded this, so click OK over here, then initiate the connection. So it will validate my PIM key which we have with the server EC2 instance which we have created. Then it will authenticate if my key is genuine and I'm giving the request, then the request will be accepted. Okay, so if you over here, if you check just before that we will switch to the Ubuntu to the super user. Then first thing what we will do it, we will update the packages. The command to update the packages sudo apt update -y. Okay, so it will update the packages, right? Don't worry, I'll give this all the commands which I'm executing on this EC2 instance, and I will provide you either in the description or the GitHub link. Okay, so don't worry. So it will update all the packages, right? It has, if you should go here, you will be able to see that the noble, the multi, the all restricted AMD 54 components has been updated, all the updates. So it took 50 updates, right? So let's go now. What we will do it, we will go switch back to the repository, right? We will go to the PostgreSQL document. Then we are over here. If you go for the postgres.org and the download, then you have to sync. It will prompt you some of the things which you have to proceed. First, it will ask you which operating system you're going to configure. So I'll go with the Linux operating system. Then in the Linux operating system, there are multiple options. Then I'll go with the Ubuntu because I have Ubuntu operating system, right? Then it's showing that you can configure with multiple steps. The first is apt install Postgres, or we can install with manual configuration with apt repository. So I'll go with this one. So simply what I will do it, I will take everything with this. Okay, I can copy the script over here. I have edited over this also to go with the latest version of the 16. So what I will do it, I will just copy over here, Okay, or else we'll do one thing, we will take exactly from here and we will customize on the EC2 instance itself. So you will have the overview what we have changed, right? So I'll go to the SSH tunnel. So I will click over here. Okay, then I will give as a 16 version, which is this is the latest version which is going which is by provided by PostgreSQL, right? This is a stable version. So we will hit enter. Okay, so it will start everything. So what it will do, it will fetch all the things, right? All the dependency. If you check it over here, it will take few seconds. So let's go. First thing what it will doing, it will import the repository signing key. Okay, we require the signing key, right, from the Postgres. So it will curl and install some of the certificates. Okay, afterward it will install pgdg. This is a package for that. Okay, so after that it will curl all the dependencies like keys and everything. Okay, then afterwards it will create a repository configuration file. Okay, and the path is ect apt source list d. Okay, it will copy over here, and then afterwards what it will update the packages, then it will install the latest version of PostgreSQL. It has given the prompt, right? You can give the dash and 16, which we have followed over here. So if you check it over here, okay, so you're able to see this one, right? The successfully it has been installed. So now how do you check that? SystemCTL, there is a command, SystemCTL status PostgreSQL, right? So it's showing that successfully working. If you check it over here, the Postgres RDBMS, right? Relational Database Management System, Postgres, you'll see that it's active. Okay, it's in the green color. So if I want to check on the which port is running by default, we required one utility that is netstat. Okay, we don't have, so we will install this utility, right? So with that, we are able to know within the system, within the EC2 VM machine, that on which port does its work, it's communicating, right? So if you check it over here, you're able to find that 5432. This is a default port on which the Postgres is running. Okay, and it's creating one PID, right, process ID, on which it's running, right? So we successfully we have done. We have configured. We have installed Postgres database on EC2 instance. Then what happens in this case? By the default, it has Postgres as a user, and Postgres users created on the Postgres database. So what we required? We required the custom. We require the custom users. So in order to do that, what we will do it, we will switch first. We will take the CLI access of our database, right? So we'll go over here. Then we will use the command sudo -i-u and the Postgres. I will enter. I'm converted into Postgres user. By default, it create one Postgres user I have mentioned before. After that, I will switch to the shell, right? PSQL shell. This is a shell which will be chained on. Then what we will do it in order to check before, we will check is there a connection using CLI, right? Before that, we have authenticated. Okay, we authenticated using different steps, right? Here on this one. So we will use connection info, right? So it's supposed to give it the prompt. So let me check what mistake I have done. Okay, I have to give the backward flash con info, right? So it will prompt that you are connected to the database Postgres as a user of Postgres WebSocket. Run var Postgres at 5432. We are on this EC2 instance. We have Postgres installed on port 53, right? With the CLI, we are accessing this database, right? So it's prompting that database Postgres user is Postgres. We have switched to the Postgres user. The user is Postgres over here, right? So let me zoom, and with the socket, it has connected with the port 553. So the connection is perfectly working fine. So the first thing what we will do it, we will create a one user, right? So we have a default user over here. The default user is here, right? So default user, by default it will be Postgres user. So what we will do it, we will switch back to the document. We will create our custom over here, right? So what we will do it, we will create the new users, right? We'll go with the new users and we will create the new user over here. Okay, so the new user, in order to create the new user, the command is to just use capital create, right, user, and I will give it as Asim, right, and I'll give it a width, right, and the password as, let's say, Asim. I'll give it over here, right? So what happened, I have created this user, I'm creating this user, asim, right, with the password, with this password, right? So what I will do it after that, I will close this, right? So let me copy this also, that I have to remember that I have created this user. So prompt over here, so I'll go and I'll paste it over here, right? So after that I will hit enter. Okay, it's showing that there is some syntax error, so I think I cannot use line number 1. So let me check it over here what I have done. Okay, after that I supposed to give it over here, hit enter. Okay, so I have to give the space which I missed. So the creator, the role is created. Okay, the user is name with a password. This is done, right? After that, what we will do it, we will provide the privileges to create the database, right? So we have user 1, but we required to create a database. So in this stage, we required a command, this alter user. Okay, the database name what we have given, the username, sorry, the username is Asim. Okay, afterwards create db and hit enter. Okay, so the route is altered, we have created the route, we are altering the route. Okay, for Asim. Then afterwards what we are doing, we are giving the super role also. So what we will do it, I will go with the same command. Okay, alt Asim with, I will give it super user. So in order to create, he can create multiple database. Okay, so he can have super user. Okay, super user, right? Super user, alter user Asim is the name, hit enter. So if you check it over here, it has altered the road over here. Okay, so that is successfully done. So what we have to do it, after adding everything and doing everything, what we have to do it, we have to go back and we have to restate this this setting. So what I will do it, I will use exit to go over here and I will restart this service, right? SystemCTL restart PostgreSQL, right? So what happened, it will restart the service. Okay, I have used this, always I do the mistake with TL. Okay, SystemCTL. So it will take few seconds, it will install the PostgreSQL. Okay, after that what we will do it, we will go again, switch back over there. Okay, and I'll go with the PSQL. Then what we will do it, we will create one database. So let's create one database, create database with the name as testdb, right? Testdb, fine. So hit enter. So if you check it over here, one is prompting that created a database, right? So if I hyphen list, right, it should prompt me that whatever the database is available, it should prompt me. If let me zoom out, then okay. So after that, if I use -l, right, you're able to see one test database has been created. Okay, but in this case, the user is Postgres by default. Okay, so this is fine. We have done everything for here. We have done, and we have created one database also. So let me copy this database name also, right, so that I can communicate later on in this video. So let me just go here. Okay, so this is fine. Okay, so now let's me exit from this terminal, right? CLI for the Postgres shell. So I'll go back over using the command exit, right? After that, what we will do it, we will, as we have already restarted the services, let me restart again one more time. So I have just a second. This is a common mistake which I have been facing. Okay, sudo systemctl restart Postgres. So restart Postgres has been restarted, right? So now what we will do it, we will change. Now we should able to access this database, right? So in this case, we will configure. We will make it like secured way, right? So that to allow any another like pgAdmin, or if you want to have access of this outside of our this server. Okay, if you want to access with this server, then localhost is fine. We can customize the localhost, which I will show you now. Okay, so the first thing what we will do it, we will go with the nano hyphen the configuration file. We'll reside over here PostgreSQL. I will PostgreSQL. Then I have used 16 version, right? I will give it main. Okay, so I'll give it Postgres-conf. Okay, here the configuration will be available, right? So this is the path which I will give you in the tutorial. Don't worry, this is the default path, but this only varies based on your version of your PostgreSQL. Okay, if you hit enter over here, you're able to find this is the Postgres configuration file. Okay, So if you come down over here, you're able to find, it's over here. It will be listening over. This has been commented. So what we will do, we will make it uncomment over here, or let's add commented only. Okay. So let me copy and add one more configuration below over here. Okay. So I will just paste it with this. Fine. And I will give it over here star. Star indicates, the traffic should come from anywhere, right? So if I go over here, then let me uncomment this, right? I have uncommented, and then I'm giving the space. Okay, fine. See, the thing is that now is providing me the what IP address you want to listen, you can customize. In our use case, what we are doing, we are making it as a star. If the request can be generated from anywhere, but we will give the blockage on the acceptance. Okay, so I have make it this listen star. Just instead of localhost, you should make it star. Okay, just let me do it this way. Okay, just I'll use Control X hyphen Y just to enter it over here. Okay, so I have changed the changes. I have saved the changes. Okay, if you check it over here, the changes has been saved. Okay, why it's taking space over here? Fine. Control Y, right? So we have then made the changes. Then what we have to do, we have to change we have to go and change some of the another configuration also. There'll be one more file which is located. I will show you the path also where these files are located. Let's go to the main, right? If you LL over here, you will be finding two files. We already configured this file, right? We have changed some things. Then we have to set this file also. Okay, so I'll use nano. We are into the path of this. I'll go with the pg, right? HBF file. Just hit enter. Okay, so if I go over here, then it's asking me some of the configurations which I have to configure. So if you go over here, you're able to see that sorry, there is a path over here, the local let me share. Okay, over here, right? So if you check, let me go away. It's showing that you can whitelist some of the IPs of IPv4. So in this case, what we will do it, I will copy the same over here, right? I will paste it. Okay, see, I have mentioned you before also, right? It has taken over here. By the default is only listen to local host. Local is in the sense this machine, this server itself. If you're generating any request from this server, that is accepted. Outside of this there is no acceptance. So for that we are making some customization. For this case, I have to give my IP, right? So in order to do that, I will go and I will check what's my IP, right? So what's my IP address, right? So let me check what's my IP over here. So it will take a few seconds and it will prompt you what's your IP. I'm copying my IP from here, right? Or else what I will do is I'll just make it customization, right? Let me just go back over here to 223, right? So I'll make it 223 over here, 223. Then I'll go back over here, 178, 178. Then I'll go back over here, 254. Okay, what we will do it, we have copied this, right? We have just added over my IP over here, which is there 223, 171, 254 and 212, which I have added over there, right? Then afterwards I'll make it a block over there, right? I'll give it as 24. Okay, the serial block, and I will make it MD5 because the protocol which is followed over here is MD5. So we have given MD5, right? This MD5 is a protocol to connect your server from remote access, right? If you are accessing you from pgAdmin, or you can access from any other application. So this protocol you have to follow. The peer I'm giving as the method I'm giving as MD5. Okay. So this is done. I'll use Control X hyphen Y. Control X and Y to save these changes. So we have changed two files. One file is PostgreSQL.config and the second pgHBA. Okay. So one more point let me add. So if in the real time scenario, what happens, this the IP address which I've given host all, this will be the IP address of your server. If you have any, let's say you're working in an organization, they have their own setups, right? They have the all internet setup. They'll provide you over here the IP address of your organization. If you're working remotely, they may provide you for the VPN IP. Okay, so if you want to connect your database or any server, then you have to be in your VPN server, then only you will be able to access. Here you will be providing your VPN address. Okay, so in order to connect access your database, you have to be in VPN. Okay, so this is done. So after that, what we'll do, we will restart the system again. SystemCTL restart PostgreSQL, right? CTL Postgres, hit enter. So it will take and it will install Postgres. Okay, so now if I check net stat, right, you're able to see that it's up and running. The service is up and running on 5432. It's a local network, but in the EC2 instance we have not configured the security wall. So in this case, what we'll do, we'll go back to our EC2 instance, then we'll go back to our the rules, right? It's taking a bit longer to user to fetch your data. No issue, I'll wait for that. So let me open this in the new terminal. We will click on the edit inbound rules and we will open the port for custom TCP, or else we can go for the Postgres itself, right? There's a Postgres default port is 5432 and I will keep it the traffic from anywhere, right? So we have like whitelisted only the IP in the configuration pghb, right? HBF file. So it doesn't matter if you make it over here or no. But for this use case, we are keeping open. But here also you can make it based on your IP. Okay, you can keep this IP request from here, or else you can keep it as I mentioned from anywhere. Okay, so we just save it over here. So now if we check it over here, there is a one. We have already the rules over here. So now what we have to do, we have to go and access from the locally, right? So the way to access is that you can access using pgAdmin or any another tool, like you can use CLI also, right? Your terminal, local terminal to access that. So in our use case, what we'll do, we'll go with the pgAdmin, right? pgAdmin is a tool which is a GUI access of a database. So if you want to download, just click on this download tool, right? Then you'll be proceeding to over here. Then click on the Windows. Then you can install any version from here. Okay, if I click it over here, it's showing that is released on this one. It will take few seconds and you're able to install that. Then click on this, right, pgAdmin exe. So you'll be able to find one exe file is done. So if you just go, let's wait for the few seconds, let it install, right? We will click on the downloader file, right? Open file. So it will run .exe extension file, right, in order to install. So install for me only recommended. The reason for that, I have multiple reasons. So click on the next, I accept over here. Then you click on the next. Okay, next. So it will take few seconds and it will install pgAdmin 4 on your system, right? So let me just wait for the few seconds. We successfully installed the pgAdmin. It will take few time to install. Then click on the finish. So let me go and search the pg, right? pgAdmin. Let me open it. So we already over here, the pgAdmin has been opened. Just click on the server, right? Or you can keep it as add new server from here. So it will ask me that this is database server, the custom name, it can be anything, right? Then I have to give it as connection. In the connection, I have to give you the IP address, right? The IP address of this hosted server. So over here, the IP address is here. From here, I will fetch it out. Okay, then I will give it over here the IP address. Then the maintainer database is Postgres. The username we have specified over here. The username is awesome, right? So I'll paste it over here, the username. Then afterwards, it's asking me the password over here, the password which we have set for this user, right? So I have to give it that password over here. Let me just check it. It should come to Awesome, right? So I can give it over here awesome. Okay, or else I will recheck one more time. So let me add it over here. Copy and paste it over here. We have pasted and click on the save. Okay, so it will authenticate your connection. The connection is successfully done. If you check it over here, then we have database server is there. If you go down over here, you're able to find the database, right? We have two database, one is TestDB and one more is Postgres. If I refresh over here, I am able to refresh my database. Okay, if you check it over here, I don't have any tables or anything created over there. So in this case, it's successfully done. So the client IP is where? It's over here. Okay, fine, you're able to find this. Okay, with this one, the reason for that is that we have whitelisted this IP address, right? We have whitelisted this IP address in our database configuration file, right? If I go over here and check what's my IP over there, it was 212, right? So with that, it has validated. Now if I want to just change my IP address and try to connect this server, it will prompt me one error. Okay, let me show you that also. Okay, so let me quickly, I'll switch to new address, right? New IP, right? We have switched back our network, right? Currently our IP hat has been changed. Before it was different. Now it's 110.225.231.63. Now let's see how the Postgres will, it will interact. So in this case, what we will do it, I will just do a thing that I will forget this database. So I think the connection already gone, or let's try. See, the connection to service has been lost. I haven't done anything over here. Just I have changed my IP address. I switched to new internet connection. So able to see that the authentication has been failed because this IP is not listed over there. If I want to just go and reconnect over here, let me refresh. Where is the refresh? Let me just show you that also. See, you're able to see some of this prompt over down. The prompt is showing that this IP is not been listed over there. So what I will do with new thing, just I'll go over here. I will delete this database. Let me try to okay. I will remove this one, right? So let me remove this database. Let me create new server, register new server over here, and then I'll go with the same thing which I have used before to make it connection, right? So what we have to give it database, right? The name. Then I'll go for the connection over here. Then I'll give the IP address of my server. My server IP is over here, right? Then I have to give it username. The username, you can create anything. Just for the tutorial, I have give it over here. And then the password I have over here, right, which I have copied. Copy and placed it over there. Then I will try to connect it. Then it will try to communicate with my server. It's showing that unable to connect to the server, right? Connection failed. Connection to server 1234 Postgres port and everything. No pgAdmin host for this. So it's prompting me that this IP address is not whitelisted in our configuration of database server 110.63, right? If you check it over here, 110.63 user and database. So encryption connection to server is failed. So this is how you can make it your a server. With this, one of the way you can make it secure your database. Okay, in the real time normally you will add more security to that. You will configure from the security here itself. You will whitelist some of the IPs. Okay, instead of going with the source. Okay, you may add more security to that, but this is the basic which you can keep your database as secure as required. Okay, the conclusion is that what we have done up to now is that we have successfully created a new Postgres user. We have installed the database, right? Postgres. We have created one EC2 instance. We have installed Postgres database on EC2 instance on the Ubuntu operating system. Then we have created a new Postgres user with the password, and we have granted them the privileges to create the database. Okay, and this is more than enough, and we have installed the pgAdmin on our local PC, and we have tried to access the database server from remote, right, with the remote your remote laptop. Okay, so it's meaning that this IP address has been not whitelisted on the server. In order to make it this whitelisted, what you have to do you have to go over here, then you have to go back. Okay, the connection, because we have changed the server. right? We have changed the IP address, so it will prompt you. So just quickly what you can do, you can go to the path over here, the configuration path. Where is the configuration path? Let me just take it. It will be right over here. The path is there. Just copy, okay, and go back over here and then paste it, open here. What you have to do it in order to access with this IP address, then I have to go back over here, then I have to just add it my IP, then I'll paste it over here, then I will add the new IP address which is currently my IP, right, which is my IP, which is IP is 107.63, right? Then I will save, I will restart this service and I'm able to connect. But in the real scenario it's not possible. It doesn't allow you to do these things, and only you are able to connect it to database through private network itself. Okay, so after creating this EC2 instance, don't forget to delete this EC2 instance because we are using in the free trial. Okay, thanks for watching this. Don't forget to share, subscribe, stay connected. You will find new tutorial. You can check it out on my YouTube channel. You'll find a lot of tutorial related to cloud and DevOps. Thank you very much once again. Hope to see you soon in the new tutorial.